You're welcome back. Now, revenue from crude exports is expected to decline further for the fourth quarter of this year as Tullow cuts production on the Jubilee oil field. The following Business Desk report has more how this development could affect government's operations.
Being done on a component on the Jubilee FPSO used in the extraction of crude from the seabed. Tullow earlier this week announced that it is reducing the volume of gas it exports to the Atuabo gas processing plant for 3 weeks, starting November 1. Joy Business understands that the move would also result in crude from the Jubilee field reduced significantly, a development that could affect revenues gleaned from oil exports for the fourth quarter of this year, taxes from the resource, and royalty payments. Latest figures covering crude revenues for the third quarter showed a significant dip. The numbers reveal a $5 million reduction from a little over $24 million derived during the second quarter of 2016. The situation, if not addressed, could badly affect government's revenue. Already, end of July fiscal numbers reveal that revenues for the state has been affected. Tullow has also indicated that it would shut down the Jubilee FPSO again next year for 3 months. That's between February and July 2017.
The Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana is making the demand of policymakers as the country marks National Farmers' Day today. More in the Business Desk report.
Aides of the Plant Breeders Bill believe it would boost agri productivity in the country. Several civil society groups like Food Sovereignty Ghana have however kicked against it, arguing it would protect only the interest of scientists and corporations at the expense of smallholder farmers. The Programs Officer of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Charles Nyaba, says this highlights the need for policymakers to take a second look at the law in the interest of the Ghanaian smallholder farmer.
We want them to come out with a law that considers the interests of the Ghanaian farmer. The current law, the Plant Breeders Bill, just like Uncle Ben said, is protecting the interests of corporations, foreign corporations. It's not, even if it's Ghanaian corporation, we don't have a problem. Foreign corporations like Monsanto, DuPont, who are based in US, South Africa, and producing seeds. So we want any law that they will come out with, it should be considering the interests of the Ghanaian seed producer and smallholder farmer.
The national coordinator of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Victoria Adongo, also explains they only want the bill revised to prioritize the interest of the smallholder farmers through consultation.
Let me emphasize once more that we are not against the whole bill. We are against the clauses that we think are inimical to smallholder farmers. So what we are saying here is that the government, parliament, and political parties should refrain from passing legislation which discriminates against farmers' seed rights as a choice of seed, access to and control and ownership of seeds, and also to ensure active involvement in legislative decision-making at all levels. Farmers' participation in legislative decision-making. They should therefore commit to withdrawing or reviewing the Plant Breeders Bill in its current form, and also commit not to enter into any agreement with direct or indirect negative effects on smallholder producers.
The Plant Breeders Bill is to, among other things, ensure a genetic diversity of food crops as part of attempts to guarantee food security in the country.
Access to loans in recent years has been a major challenge for SME expansion. SMEs now are being encouraged to adopt debt financing approach to grow their businesses. There's more in this report.
For startups and small and medium enterprises, an injection of capital sometimes means they have to give up equity in their business and divide up their profits. In these cases, debt financing might be a good alternative, but a few attempt this approach. Speaking to Love Business at the launch of the 2016 SME Ghana Awards in Kumasi, Chief Executive Officer of the National Medium-Term Private Sector Development Strategy, Joe Taki, noted that cultural challenges prevent many from this financing approach.
Most business owners or the entrepreneurs like to own 100% of their businesses because they find pride in saying that I have built a business all by myself, and I own it all by myself. I mean, the simplest, the basics is also to say that myself and my wife, or myself and my children own this business, you see. But sometimes it gets to a point that you can own it 100%, but as I said, 100% of zero, it's zero. You see, so if you were to own even 60% of the business and 40% is owned by outsiders, they help you first of all they bring new ideas, they bring in the resources, they help you in decision making to make quality decisions, and every investor is anxious about their growth and looking forward to the dividends. So obviously, this is the way to go.
The Kumasi launch of the annual SME Ghana Awards began with a workshop on business financing for more than 200 SMEs. Richard Noga, event director at Imagine Aid Company Limited, organizers of the awards, explained SMEs are unable to attract requisite investors due to inappropriate financial management.
If you look at the challenges SMEs have, it is not necessarily the fact that there are no financiers to give the money. The money is available. As I speak with you now, there are organizations that have money sitting down, but the criteria for you to actually be able to tap into that, they don't meet it. And so we would have such sessions to get them to know exactly what they need to put in place to get their businesses to attract such monies.
2015 winners of the awards were presented via plaque and certificates at the event at the launch of the awards.
Now, the CEO of content development company Sapphire Ghana Limited, Kweku Sintim Misa, has prevailed on entrepreneurs to invest in research. This, he believes, will enable them develop new and improved products and services. Mr. Sintim Misa spoke to Joy Business at the 2016 Transcend Conference.
The SME Competitiveness Report released by the Association of Ghana Industries and International Trade Center last month identified the lack of quality standards as a major factor making small businesses in the country less competitive. Speaking to Joy Business at this year's Transcend 2016 conference, which brought together young entrepreneurs, Mr. Sintim Misa indicated by investing in research, entrepreneurs could address this challenge.
The important thing for them to understand is how valuable research is. You know, they shouldn't just decide, I want to go into this business because so-and-so has gone into the business and is doing well. It might be something that they want to do because they have the ability to do it. They would love to do it. And then they should research it thoroughly and understand what it takes to succeed and then start. Some of the times the mistakes people made is that they just get into it so quickly, they don't know what they're getting into, they're just excited about the idea. But study the idea, take your time and understand what you're getting into and then make your move.
The need for SMEs in the country to improve upon their modes of advertisement was also highlighted as crucial for their growth in the SME Competitiveness Report. CEO of cosmetics firm Mansuki Ghana Limited, Ijuela Kafui Manso, is one of the few SME operators who have successfully advertised their products. She shares her experience with Joy Business.
Right from about 7 years ago when I started the business, my first marketing platform was and is still the internet. I have marketed my products on so many trade sites and then social media platform. You know, no matter what business that you do, apart from doing it good or doing it great, you need to let people know the great products that you have. You know, this is sales. This is going to influence sales and, of course, profit margin and then business growth.
The Transcend 2016 conference was organized by human development outfit Fotizo. The conference, dubbed Defying Gravity, was to encourage young entrepreneurs to dream big and believe in their entrepreneurial dreams. Thompson Ikechukwu is principal partner of Fotizo.
I believe that oftentimes we do not create the opportunity for businesses to thrive in terms of, okay, for example, now you go register a business and the hurdles and all of that challenges that is involved trying to scale up your businesses, accessing the funds and all of that is quite difficult, and that is a reality. Every one of us has to acknowledge that. But yes, there is still hope You see, one of our speakers, Israel Kafimantu, reading her story alone was quite inspiring. There's a lady that started a business with barely over 300 Ghana cedis, and within a 6-year period, she's grown it into the 6 figures. Yes, there is hope for the youth. And then my advice to the youth is never stop learning. Never stop learning. You see, the more you learn, if you know better, you will do better and you have better.
And something that you're doing and you get 200 cedis and you're happy.